Hello. I'm still struggling with my chair, guys. Like I was able to remove the lock that it kept the chair to its like the tallest option, but it got stuck when I wanted to lower it. It seems like it got stuck because I don't know if maybe the silver thing, it ran out of oil, so it doesn't like you know go back and forth. My dad says lower, but if you all of a sudden if you see me drop like fall on my seat, like and get a bit shorter, is because it's finally it gave in. But for me, it's still in the same height. For me, it's the same. Yeah, famous ships within a group. There's a lot of work to do in this room yet. There's a lot of room to like. There's a lot of room for improvement, I would say. Um, I'm still struggling with the lights. Like I have the ring light here that is of the color warm because it doesn't stay on when it's in the brightest light. I don't know why. I still haven't been able to figure out what is it about this sort of timer that it has. But then I have another light here that is a bit much more brighter, but also I don't know, I would have to see what's the best position for the lights. Like I have them here on the table, but I guess I would have to play a bit with with the placement to see where it makes the scene look better. Um, Thank you, Newt. Yeah, I'm still figuring it out, guys, because um, like I had lights of colors. You know that I do. Maybe you can sort of see it a bit better. If I'm afraid of moving my chair too much and that this is going to break. You see, I have much more light here. So maybe if I move like this, but also because because the phone is not straight, so you're going to see that there's something about the wall that you're like, is that a bit crooked? Yeah, it is. But yeah, maybe like this one, well, the way I used to be. That's why that's why the group concept surprised me, but I've been rushing around it. Yeah, actually, when I said famous ships, I didn't think that I had to clarify that it was the famous ships within a group, that we sort of know what they are made for. Like, we know that it's fan service, we know that it's part of the dynamic of the group sometimes. Um, And I don't know why people started like talking about older ships Like, it's more like what they consider a ship, or maybe what others consider a ship between two people. But for me, it's like the ships within a group. Um, and also, like, I do it from a place of let's have fun. Because, you know, as I'm probably like next Wednesday, I'm going to introduce a new series. I'm thinking about it. I'm also taking notes in case you guys want to recommend a new idea for the Wednesdays. That is usually romantic, is romance, relationships, connections, star readings. I'm thinking about a new subject to read about, a new theme, a new idea. So while I'm in the transition of finding a new idea and not being like all Wednesdays with the same people and with the same theme, I decided to do the ships. Of course, that this doesn't change my perception about shipping. That I think that, you know, if it makes you happy and you love their interactions, good for you. I don't support shipping because I know how crazy people get. Especially when one of these people that are involved in these ships, they start dating someone in reality, and everyone calls it fake. So yeah, your ship is not fake, but the real person they're dating or seeing, they're fake. So, you know, this is when I'm like, I think that that, you know, using the tarot for that is like adding more to the deludedness that I don't think is healthy. I don't think it's healthy. I think that it's fun when we are able to maybe laugh about it, like read for it, sort of like being like, okay, what's available? Oh, they had a cute moment, or I love it when they're together, but we also let it go, you know, and maybe we are open to the idea of, I don't know, members also having another ships or another dynamic with other people. I think that when people get stuck in a ship, for me, it's not healthy. And if I pull cards for that, I'm only like adding like more instability in something that has never been proven to be right. So, you know, when you get the tarot involved, that's when I'm like, you know, that's not how we use the tarot. That's not, I mean, the tarot can entertain us and be funny, but also like there's limitations, and that those limitations or those do's and don'ts also come from the tarot reader. The tarot reader that is able to say, I read for this and I don't read for this, you know, because then, you know, when something happens, then they are like, oh, because the tarot reader said this and this and this about my ship, so I guess it's true because the tarot reader said this. And I don't want to be part of that. You know, I think that the tarot is supposed to make you see potentials and possibilities instead of you getting stuck in your fantasy, you know. I was having green tea, but actually like it got it's all of a sudden it's very cold because I prepare it and I got it from downstairs. So I have to get my mate because the mate is going to be the only beverage that I will be able to keep warm, and that if I have it here, it will not get cold. So yeah, but not now because I have to take it from downstairs, you know. And you know that climbing a lot of stairs, like different times a day, guys, actually, I think it's a good workout, but it's still, you know, my joints are not that used to. My articulations are a bit like, you know, take it easy, Vanessa, you're not that young anymore. Fan service, yes, like Tumin in Shiny, but no need to go there. Asian story already. Yeah. Hey, Samaran. I agree with you. Shipping should have been limits, like they could accept their dating lives and orientations. Yeah, it's like when you see that your bias or someone has like I don't see like a confirmed relationship, but if you see them like probably having fun with another member, like don't become a hater, you know, because I think that this is what happens when we like someone so much. It can happen with our bias, with our favorite fictional character. You know, we get attached to what we think that they are, you know, our perception of who they are. But you know, they change. We people, we change all the time. Just like idols change concept, they can change and evolve into another shape, into another dynamic, and make each other look good and have very funny moments. So we should have fun with the shipping, like have fun seeing these two people having a skinship and just being cute together, you know, and being like, oh, that's so cute. But not to the point of like, oh, this is an untouchable ship. You know, nothing can come between them. They are best friends or best lovers forever. Like, let's not do that. You know, let's not do that. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. Exactly, Akira, exactly. Yeah, because also like I think that, you know, I was talking, you know, usually during this Gemini that it is going to be soon, not the Gemini placement, because I believe Jupiter in Gemini is going to be for a while, but the Gemini season is going to be over very soon. So what we can learn from this Gemini season is that sometimes it's better to not have an opinion about things. Or sometimes it's better to not be that, I don't know how to say it. It's not about being opinionated, but there's places and places. There's places where, for example, us in a very private conversation, we can be like, you know, I don't like this, or I prefer this. But when it comes to creating content around it, you know, sometimes just create the content and let it go. To each person their own. Just let's be mindful about what we create. This also has to do with creation, with being creative. And like I told you the other day about not pushing people to a burnout. Not pushing readers or astrologers or people that are sharing what they know with us to not be that insistent with like, oh, I want you to read for my favorite. And can you read again? And can you do this all over? And I know you read last week, but can you do it again? Because, you know, now things have changed. And it's like, whoa. First of all, because readings, it takes time, guys. For me, I want to see how my readings, how they develop with time and with circumstances. I want to see if with time, it's not about them coming true, but if they reveal something that eventually it developed that way, or if it happened the totally opposite of what I said. So if I keep pulling cards for the same subject over and over, I'm never going to have like a single view of like, okay, I read for this subject, this is what I got back then, this is going on now. Like, you know, before and after, what is going on? What did the cards see back then? But if we're always touching and tapping on that subject, on that person, it's like, you know, the tarot is going to be like, what do you want me to say? You pull cards all the time, so what do you expect? Of course I'm going to change if you keep pulling cards. Hey, Danya. Hello, Thais. Yeah. Yeah, I know it sounds repetitive, guys, but it seems like just in case someone new enters the community, I believe it's very it's very important to let them know how we manage things here, because then they get offended when we don't take the request, or when we say, we don't do this. This is why I'm like, okay, today I'm going to do shippings, but within a group. This is a way of just decompressing a bit this heavy energetic reality that we're having now when it comes to communication. So yeah, let's make this simple and fun. Then, next week I'm going to probably, like, if you guys want to send me your recommendations, I will create a post where you can be like, okay, on Wednesdays maybe we can do this dynamic. I appreciate all of your recommendations and ideas, but of course, like, the final decision is mine. I do take the ones that resonate with my vision. I don't take all. First of all, because there's no time to do them all, but I do appreciate the engagement. I do appreciate people that continuously are like, I would want this, but I want to be true to myself. If I feel like, I don't want to read about this. It's not personal, it's nothing against the artist, it's that for me, it feels like, Be prepared to see yourself on posts saying this tarot reader said this. Oh no. No. And also I can see people, I can sort of see it, like, I don't know why I'm sort of visualizing fans that own tarot deck, them doing a reading on what I said. Oh, I mean, like, not just me, some other tarot reader. Oh, the tarot reader said this, but I believe that that's not true. So let's pull cards to do this. But yeah, if they want to learn about tarot and the importance of tarot and how the tarot is a very valuable tool, but the tarot is not, for me, the tarot is not for, is not for people that believe that they know. These people that are like, oh, I read energies, or I know what is going on because I'm good at observing or reading the room. It's like the tarot is not going to work very well with you, because it's going to show you something and you're going to be like, let's shuffle again. So no, that if you have a lot of ego, the tarot is not for you. The tarot is not for you. But they are part of June, Jungkook and Jeffrey. So it makes sense that people want to see them. Actually, I don't have them. I have Jaehyun and Renjun. I do have Jaehyun and Renjun, and actually, like, personally, I want to do this reading because I seen clips of, I believe it was NCT Nation. I don't know what content of NCT it was. That I saw Jaehyun, like, hugging a lot, like, opening his arms and just, like, being very affectionate towards Renjun. So I was like, before he went into hiatus. So I was like, there's genuinely interest in there. So, usually Jaehyun is not a hugger, not with everyone. So I was like, maybe there's a cute connection in there. You done like 2 readings for them. Okay. I usually, like, I recognize all the names. Like, for me, I know they are the usuals, but yeah, it's because my community is very small. and the people that request probably are always the same. So it makes sense that we are usually reading for the same people, because it's like the community is very small. This is why I'm always asking, guys, do you have another recommendation? Like, do you want us to talk about something else? Like, I always encourage you guys to, to think about, I love my bias and I would want to pull cards for him, but I understand that I already did. I already did a 2024 reading for him, and I believe when we mention him at some other point, I believe during Valentine's Day, I pulled cards for him. So probably I'm going to wait until his birthday to pull cards for him, because but yeah, I appreciate the consistency. This is something that I think that I appreciate from the community, is that the community posts that they see, they put the recommendations. So I am very grateful for that. You know, I'm grateful that they put their what they want to see. And I believe, honestly, like I believe that even though we are very few people, we are not that many, there's a lot of subjects, like a lot of subjects for readings had come out in this year and a half, that the community has expanded a bit more. So I'm also very thankful, because it's all about keeping the communication alive between me and the community, and reading them, and also examine, okay, like what do you want to know? Do you want to know about this? Okay, how can we make this different? Or how can we do this? Or how can we move on from this? Okay, something happened. So I believe that it's mutual work. You know, it's mutual work, because they keep me updated about like, okay, this happened with this idol or this group. Can you do an update on them? So yeah, depending on who they are, if I know who they are, if I see them in the community, I'm going to be like, okay. Someone told me the first thing you need to start tarot is sanity. I think that, yeah, honestly, like Dania, I think that you're right, because in my country, in my experience with fellow tarot readers in Argentina, I have seen some very talented tarot readers actually quitting reading, because I believe that it has to do with their mental health. It has to do. It has to do. If you are not stable, there's something that it gets very confusing, and maybe they start seeing things that are not that clear. So yeah, I think that sanity is the point. Is the point. And a lot of inner work also. Me as a tarot reader, how do I feel about reading for this? Or because if we think about K-pop, K-pop is always going to be about like who is dating who and whose scandal is what, or a comeback. There are subjects, but probably they're going to be or very like light subjects or superficial subjects, or it's going to be dramatic when it comes to companies fighting. So this is why I introduced the romantic Wednesdays or relationship Wednesdays, so we can sort of create a dynamic with the cards that it can be much more exciting and inspiring, instead of talking about companies fighting each other. Hey, Christine. So yeah, it's like we cannot be like, oh, this is so woke, because you know it's K-pop. It's just like reading for celebrities. It's always going to be about someone's tea, people being greedy, people being jealous of each other. You know, it's not going to be that deep. But I try to make it deep. This is why I want always all of you to resonate with what you, a recommendation that you do. I want you to resonate. Like, okay. what is it for you. Yeah, it's usual. It's usual the same people. I see it here because I'm talking about Rosé. I have Rosé here because a fan wanted me to pull cards for her to see an update because I believe she signed with the Black Label. Is that the name of the company? The Black Label. I always confuse them. Well, the Black Label. I believe that she signed with them, so they wanted an update on how she's doing about this new chapter. Then I'm going to read for Gemini for twice Dahyun, for Shownu, Mosaic Shownu. And then I'm going to start with the ships. That the ships are 17 Mingyu and Wonwoo, then Taehyung and Renjun, then Chanyeol and Baekhyun, then Treasure Haruto and Junkyu. Then I have this group that I don't know how it's pronounced, is WJSN is this group. I don't know how it's pronounced. WJSN. Yeah, because guys, I'm not going to be doing the live stream that I usually do on Saturdays because I'm going on a trip. Tomorrow it's national the day, the holiday for the day of the flag of my country. So yeah, to commemorate that day, we have holidays. Like we have tomorrow is a holiday until and it's like a Thursday, Friday, and then you have Saturday and a Sunday. So yeah, I'm going to take those days to go on a trip with my family because we have like 4 days like to do this. So we decided to go. So yeah, I'm going to take a bit of a break. This is why I added them. Yeah, and yeah, W, is it W? JSN, Seola and Bona. I don't know about them, but yeah, I'm going to read about them. Then twice Nayeon and Jeongyeon. I always struggle with her name. I know it's but it's my accent. It's not her name. It's just that I struggle with the J's and the Y's. Is it Hyunjin? Okay. Then for Stray Kids, Felix and Lee Know. And then lastly, I'm going to pull cards for Taekook, for Taehyung and Jungkook, even though they are in the military at the moment. But I'm going to pull cards to see how their ship, because Taekook is a very, this is what I say, when I say that this is a famous ship, it's a super famous ship. So yeah. When I wrote the community post, I was thinking, I got inspired by Taekook, and is Jeongyeon? Okay. Thank you, Akira. Yeah, I get like, oh, I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry. I just love her. I love her so much. Like, does she have like a short version of her name so I don't have it like, so I don't butcher the name? Oh, guys, like I told you in Discord that yesterday I had the wildest, not in a sexy way, it's not wildest dream in a sexual way, no. I have a very peculiar dream with my bias. This is the first time in the years that I had become an NCT fan, and I had chosen Utah as my bias, is the first time that I actually dreamt of him. And it was so confusing. It was like, you know that I told you that I had dreams with other idols that are not my bias. And for them, it was mysterious. It was interesting. I felt very comfortable. But when it comes to dreaming of Utah, because there was other people involved, I think that it sort of makes sense because he is my bias. So there's this feeling of him being unreachable. And in the dream, I felt this anxiety of not being able to reach him. So it's so interesting, guys. I don't know if you ever dreamt of your bias, and if it was like very vivid, like the one I had. But I swear I got so anxious in my dream. Like I felt in the dream like I was running out of time. And of course, like, we were in this small town in my country. Like it's not like I went to Japan or to, Korea and there he was. No, it was more like he was traveling to a city in my country, not a city, a province. Like it sort of felt like a desert because it was very windy and there was a lot of dust. But I had to get closer first to his manager and his wife that they were with Utah, and they were Argentinian. They will be speaking in Spanish. So I will have to sort of like see a way to get closer to them, to get close to Utah, to ask him for a picture. And there was other fans as well. And I remember that there was a stop, a bus stop where we got out and we were all having dinner, like not dinner, lunch. And I sat next to the manager and he started telling me things, like I started to have a conversation with him and ask him like how he was doing and trying to be sociable. I guess I wanted to become his friend, so I would get more access to get closer to Utah, but Utah was nowhere to be seen. He was like elsewhere. So I was paying attention to the manager telling me a very sad story, and I was like trying to be empathic and just trying to be sweet and trying to be like, and it was very funny because his wife, that also was Argentinian, she was seated in front of us, and she was like looking at us like, why are you telling her all our issues, like all your troubles, but he was telling me like everything, his issues, like as he was sort of like talking and I was like, oh wow. Oh. And I don't know how then I took this opportunity to be like, I want to get close to Utah because I want to ask him for a picture. I don't know if he will be available, if you can talk to him, because there was other fans waiting as well, so it wasn't just me. And then he was like, okay, yeah, he's over there. And I went, and this is very strange because he was talking, like there was a group of people around him, and I got closer, and I think that I said it in English. I said like, can we take a picture together? And he looked at me just very like, sort of like a bit annoyed, like, yeah, sure. But first I think that his face, it was like, he didn't understand what my English. He was like, yeah. But the way he agreed to do it, it was so condescending. It made me feel so bad. Like I interrupted him or something, like I was like interrupting him, like this is not correct. But anyways, I went to get the camera. I went to get my cell phone that it was somewhere else. I went to get it and my cell phone was out of battery. It didn't work. It wouldn't start. It was totally off. It was my phone, my battery, it was dead. So I grabbed it and the whole black screen, there was no way to turn on that phone. So I had to get a phone that all of a sudden I got this memory of like, this is my dad's or my mom's first cell phone. It was a cell phone with a screen, but it was very old and it was tiny like this. And okay, so I took it and I was like, okay, please take me a picture with it, I don't know. And I remember someone took it and I just wasn't satisfied with the picture because the phone was so old that the picture, like the pixels and everything, it was so blurry, it was awful, awful. And then he just went away. He just got on another bus and they left. And they left me and other people in this very desert kind of province. Awful experience, guys. Like the embarrassment that I felt in the dream, and also the disappointment of like, can you imagine that you get to meet your bias like face to face and he gives you that look, that disapproving look of like, oh wow, like you are really desperate for a picture, right? Like, I swear, guys, I felt so ashamed for myself. I was like, why? Like, why? Like, oh, guys, no. I woke up and I felt so ashamed. I was like, I felt so ashamed. I was like, I don't want to ask. I don't think I would ever ask you that a picture if I had the chance, because I felt so ashamed. I felt like I was interrupting him, like he was talking to other people, and I was like being a fanatic in there, like just being like, can we take a picture together? Oh no, 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 no. When an idol is randomly in your family dinner. Oh. Hey, Jachalino. Not your dreams ruining your dreams. I felt so bad, Samara. It felt like a nightmare. But I felt so out of place. Because in that dream, I felt like this rush. I was like, this is my moment to get close to Utah. So I felt the anxiety of like, he is about to leave. You have to ask for a picture now. This is the moment. So I don't know if the crazy Delulu people in the airport, if they feel this way, this anxiety, but that's how I felt. Like, you have to ask him because he's about to leave. You will not get another chance. But the way he looked at me, guys, the way in my dream, he was like side-eyeing me, like this. Awful, awful. I felt so judged. No, never again, never again. Email me your autograph, your signature, but I will not ask you. It was nice you could see your bias. My dreams last night told me I'm not the chosen one. Twice were at my grandma's home and it was night. Through the window, I saw a mascot fight and was so scared, and Momo hugged me and Nayeon got mad. Mascot, I don't know how you call these giant stuffed figures. Yeah, I understand mascot. I just had a dream with BTS Jin. He had to go on stage and I wouldn't let go of him. I don't know why. AT's Juno tried to kill me once in my dream because he tried to flirt with my friend and I told him she has a boyfriend already. Yeah, no, I remember all details. I even, the thing that happens to me with dreaming about idols, and this I told Hope and I told Samara as well when we were talking, I remember how they made me feel in there. So even though a lot of time can pass from that dream, I remember it, how it made me feel. It's like it's imprinted in my body. It's like, for example, in this case that I dreamt of Yuta look sort of side-eye me and be like, like you are a bit too enthusiastic, right? Like, I think that the feeling of I'm embarrassed and it feels so real, like I actually embarrassed myself in front of my bias. And even though it was a dream, but I have the feeling, like I was like, oh no, there's no way you had to act that. It's not that I acted desperately, but I think that also his response was so cold and was so detached. It was like, oh, okay. That I felt judged. I felt, oh. I had a dream with Jungkook in London, but I don't follow TXT. Yeah, I had dreams with Jaehyun, with NCT Jaehyun, and I had dreams with Shownu, Monsta X Shownu, and actually he was super nice, super nice. They both were very silent, but they were maybe because they are not my biases, I didn't feel like oh look, he's sitting next to me. I sort of see them like a friend, like someone that I know and that I respect, but not the one that I'm so attracted to you. For Yuta, I did feel a sense of anxiety, like I have to get his autograph or I have to get something from him because he's about to leave. So maybe this is what people feel, when they are waiting for him and they're like, can you give me your autograph? I think that this is probably a sentiment. Ah, okay. Yeah. I saw a post of someone saying their experience meeting twice and their favorite thing about each member, and they said she's generally happy to see you too. She makes you feel so comfortable. Yeah, because I think that in my dream, and this is so weird because I don't see my bias as be someone that he's serious, but I don't see him like being mean or being just I'm famous, don't bother me. On the contrary, he's just very humble with the fans. But in the dream, he was so rude, like he was so uninterested. He was like, oh, okay, I will. At first, I thought that he didn't understand my English, but. Yeah, he's so nice. Yeah, but I don't know. Like I now I feel like I don't think I want to meet him because that feeling of I'm embarrassed. I don't know how long. Maybe it has to pass a few weeks before if I have another dream or I don't know. But I still have that feeling, that embarrassment. Okay, guys, I'm going to start because otherwise I'm going to be here forever. Okay, let's start with Blackpink Rosé. I also have to get another microphone, guys, because this one that actually like it works very well. It's very old, but it works very well. But since this wire is attached, I cannot move freely, and it's very uncomfortable. I feel like I'm going to drop something. Okay. Okay, for Rosé. Oh, wait, I have the. I was holding the deck upwards, like upside down. Okay. Oh, what is this? Okay. For Rosé, Blackpink Rosé, we have the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Ten of Swords, Queen of Wands, Five of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And from the other deck, he got the card of the Magician. She got the card of the Magician, that the keyword is manifest. So, yeah, I think that these moments are very... I think that she has been working very hard to actually get out of this. I think that she feels like, it's not that she feels like a failure, but there's a lot of things being said. I don't know if she got a lot of criticism at some point. It's not just about her career or her potential, it's more about her person as well. So I sort of see her like trying to pick up the pieces. Probably, being criticized is something that has taken a toll on her mental health, and this is why she's not that exposed as the others. I think that she's working on herself. She's working on herself. She's also working on her talents, but it's all going to take a while. But we have the Queen of Wands in the middle. So I think that she sort of knows that this decision creates a sort of conflict or discussion between people. Maybe people are judging her, or maybe people are like, we think that you're not going to do very good in there. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, what did you go? Like, why did you decide to go there? You're actually, we don't think that you suit that place. Like, we wanted something else from you. A lot of people been against this, but I see her like just being strong, and it's not that she's going to prove people wrong, but I think that there must be a reason why she made this choice, and I think that this is she's feeling very secure about it. She's like, yeah, this is what I chosen. This is, no one is forcing me. But I think that honestly, the issue here is people. People are not satisfied with her decision. It's like, we think that they already think that she's going to fail. Like they already sort of like, even the fans, I think that when I say they, it could be the fans. Like they've been like, we think that this place is going to ruin you, that you are not going to win anything, that you're not going to be successful, that you're going to lose all your money. Like, people thinking the worst for her. So but we have the Two of Cups, so definitely there's an association. There could be that there's also an emotional attachment that she has to these people, or to, I don't know if it's Teddy, the one that is in that company, but I think that she has chosen this because of an emotional attachment, because she feels like maybe this place is know her and know how she works or her style. So, and also with the magician, with Manifest, I think that with time she's going to actually create something very positive for herself, and she's going to hush some people and hush a bit, like the haters. But honestly, I see her very secure. I see her very secure, but definitely she comes from a place of like feeling defeated in a lot of situations, in a lot of I feel like it's really hard. It was very hard for her maybe after the other members went their individual, like it seems like everyone has everything, like, okay, what we are going to do. And for her it was so difficult to pick herself up and just be like, okay, I'm going to think about me and my future. I think that she was hurt by something. She was hurt. She was deeply hurt, and this wound or this pain is not something that has happened now. Probably this has been with her putting up with a lot of criticism, or just people not being. I feel like the people around her are not very supportive of her, and I wonder if this also it has to do with the fandom. If maybe the fandom also, I think that they underestimate her. Like, I think that people are underestimating her. They are fighting each other to be like, okay, who thinks that Rosé is going to fail with this decision? Like, as if they know her, as if they know what's ahead. And actually, I think that she can prove them wrong. She can prove them that it's going to take a while. For me, it's just starting. It's not that you're going to see news right now, but she's secure. She's not that fragile as you think, guys. She's actually working on herself, and probably in order to make this decision, she actually thought about it a lot. It's not something spontaneous. It's not something spontaneous, but probably she's also putting as a priority to keep, I believe she's going to therapy, or she's doing something for her health. So she's putting her mind as a priority. But she is still very passionate about her career. So yeah, so don't worry. She's going to be okay. Yeah, she's going to do okay, guys. Like, so I think that is more people like just being hateful, and probably they had always been like this. These people had always had this opinion. It seems like they want to put her like, oh, poor her. You know, she doesn't know what to choose, so she had chosen this. And it's not like, no, you know, the woman she's intelligent. Don't worry, she's not a child. Like, have a little bit of faith in your idol. Not just the ones that you like and support. Have a little faith in all of them. Okay, I'm going to continue with Twice Dahyun. Who broke her heart? Who broke her heart? Okay. For Dahyun, for Twice Dahyun, Wait, that I have to write down the timestamps. For Twice Dahyun, we have Free of Swords, we have The World, Eight of Wands, Nine of Cups, Queen of Cups, and we have the card of the Four of Pentacles, and the keyword says open up. So, I think that she's moving on. This is why I was like, okay, who hurt this girl? Because, you know, we start like this, and I think that she's moving on from this. Probably this is not a relationship. Probably it's maybe the company, or it's just certain businesses that are not very beneficial for her. Because we are reading for her individually here, we are not reading for the group. So probably she comes from a stage in her life where she wasn't very satisfied. Probably the things that she wanted to do, or there were some plans, that maybe some personal plans that she had, that she sort of had to sacrifice for her career, or she had to sort of gave up on her individual desires to finish a project. So I think that for her, even though she doesn't talk that much about it, there's a moment with her that she's like, I never get what I want. Like, I always get what others want of me, or what others expect of me, but I never, like, when it comes to what I want as a person, I never got it. I never got it. So there's a bit of like every time I ask for something, they say no. So I'm a bit disappointed, because probably this is not the first time, and it sort of makes her feel like, okay, I guess I'm not of value. This is why whenever I ask for something, you guys say no. So it's really hard for her to be like, okay, maybe there's favoritism, and she knows it. And with the World card, I think that this year, or this Gemini season, it's a whole change in her perspective and her energy. She's like, okay, no more feeling guilty, no more feeling sad, no more feeling sorry for myself. Like, because I don't think that she feels sorry for herself. I think that inside, she feels very sad, very disappointed. I don't think that she calls people out, or she's like, okay, I'm going to talk to JYP and I'm going to tell them that they are treating me wrong. No, I think that she doesn't say anything. But there's this very awkward silence of like, you know, it's never me. Like, they never choose me, or they never take into consideration what I want. Or when I introduce an idea, they choose someone else's and not me. I think that probably she would want to be a bit much more a protagonist in her life. You know, she probably is thinking about it, is thinking like, okay, what can I do for myself to start connecting much more with enjoying things. We have, in the middle, we have the Eight of Wands. So I wonder if she is finally, because with the World, she's closing this cycle of feeling pity for herself. So with the Eight of Wands, I wonder if she is going to get a role, or if she's going to get something for herself. A very important role, or just something that is very meaningful for her. Because we have the Nine of Cups, and we also have the Queen of Cups. So I think that this is just so lovely for her. This is so important. That is going to make her feel like so good inside. And she's going to cherish a lot this project. And also the Nine of Cups, it has to do with her getting what she wants, or getting something that she has been longing for a very long time. So I wonder if this is, I don't know, it could be like something simple as a vacation, but I think that the Eight of Wands in the middle, it's there's news coming her way, and probably she's going to share this with maybe with the fans. Yeah, we got the sun in reverse. Yeah, I think that for her it's like, okay, let's concentrate in the smallest details. She's trying to stay optimistic and to change her mindset. Um, mm, yeah, I think that is going to do very well. Actually, for her, just to participate is something very good because she's looking for inspiration. I believe she has been a bit sad. In the beginning of the year, or maybe the end of last year, it has been very challenging for her. But then again, we have the Four of Pentacles, and here the keyword is open up. So this is what I was reflecting about this. I think that actually Dahyun, like her energy just feels very prosperous. Like I think that it's not that something is missing, but honestly, we're talking here about the Gemini, and we're talking about Gemini season and communication. And I think that she doesn't open up about her struggles. I don't know if she's very stubborn, and there's something about her having a sort of shield where she doesn't let others see how vulnerable she is or how upset she is about certain things. I think that she's upset because of other treatments. I think that she sees unfairness, but she's not capable of saying it out loud. I think that she's like, I better don't say anything because I know how this works. This had always been like this. So I better hush. I better just stay in my place and just, get satisfaction from what I have. I think that this is something that Dahyun has a lot, is that she doesn't look at what others members or other people have. She's more concerned about herself. She's like, okay, I only look at what I have. I don't know what the others have, but I only look at myself. So yeah. Yeah, I think that definitely she is someone that is a bit inflexible. She definitely needs to open up a bit more, because it seems like she holds tight, or she holds very tight certain situations, and she doesn't let people know that there's things that bother her. And she just doesn't say anything. She acts like nothing is going on, but actually, yes, there's something that is bothering her. Yeah, she's like a fort. It's really hard to see what's inside. Yeah, definitely. But she's going to get what she wants. At the end of the year, she's going to be very happy, very fulfilled, very happy emotionally with this project. So yeah, you're going to see her being very, very happy, guys. So she's moving on, but I think that she could be, if she had the chance, maybe actually if she's into this acting gig that you guys say that she's acting, maybe practicing acting, it can also help her to get more in contact with her feelings and her own emotions, because she needs to own her own emotionality a bit more. She needs to own that she's sensitive, that she has emotions, that she's a sensitive person, and that doesn't mean that she's weak. Actually, on the contrary, it makes her human. Okay, I'm going to continue with the other Gemini, with Shownu, Mosaic's Shownu. Okay. For Shownu, we start with the Four of Cups, Queen of Cups, Strength card, Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, and he got the card of the Nine of Pentacles, well-deserved reward. So it's very interesting because I sort of see this, I see these pentacles, you know, there's a lot of pentacles, and all these people that are in here are on their own, are alone. So probably there's something about him wanting to be successful by himself and with his own merit, I would say, with his for his own merit, and he wants to be like I there's something here that when I saw it I was like, I see these first two cards, you know, the Four of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So I think that there's a woman, a very successful woman, that has reached out to him to collaborate or to work together. I don't know. I think that she, because she's a Queen of Cups and I see the cups and I'm like, this could be someone that is particularly interested in Shownu. Not just as a colleague or let's work together. It's more like I like you and I want to get to know you and I want to get closer to you. And I think that with the Four of Cups, he sort of rejected this person because he's like, yeah, you know, like I'm actually like creating content on my own, or I'm doing this on my own, or I am already booked, I already made a deal with someone else. Yeah, but I think that he sort of rejected her because she seems to be too invested in him. Probably she's a bit obsessed. I don't know why it got me vibes of manipulative, you know, someone that is like the dogs. You're going to hear the dogs a lot here. I don't know why, but since I'm upstairs, like the dogs fighting, like it hears like, oh my God. But I think that he's like, oh no, thank you. I'm going to do things on my own. Honestly, I think that he's, because I see her as this Queen of Cups, and I think that he's sort of like running away from women a bit. He's trying to not get in controversies because of a woman. Maybe he had learned a tough lesson in the past and he's like, you know, me, women, the industry, no. So he is, with the Strength card, it's like he's trying to be very, very strong, to not give in to temptation. And because I see that they flatter him a lot, or they invite him to these very luxurious events, so it's really hard to say no. And actually, I see him on his own. I see him a bit lonely. So I think that he's also reviewing, okay, what options do I have? What can I do with my career, you know, on my own, without having to ask other people? So, but I think that these moments are actually helping him to focus and work on himself and his own skills or his own talents. To recognize that he has his own charisma, or he has his own image, or he has his own possibility to have deals, is that he can work with that. He has to perfectionate them. I think that the cards are like letting him know that he still has to practice a lot, or maybe he has to get updated with what's popular now. He has to keep working a lot on details about his image, about what he wants to, or maybe if he wants to attract a new audience, or just to get more fans to himself. It's like, you know, just with the looks, it's not enough. You have to also sharp your skills, or actually learn new talents. So I see him very slow and just very consistent working on himself. But it's going to be paid off. before this year ends, he's going to get a reward or a recognition for his individual work. I see him very fixated on working on himself as well. He's very hardworking. I see him just very quiet and slowly just working on himself. I mean, like, okay, I have to be better at this. I see him very lonely. That's one thing, with the strengths in the middle. I also think that he's trying to stay away from trouble. I don't know if this means to be isolated, but I think that probably in the past he did have some bad influences, or maybe he was a bit naive and he thought that all people or everyone were his friends, and then he realized that no, in this industry there's no friendship sometimes, that actually if they can throw you under the bus, they will. Or at least the people that he used to see or be friends with. So I think that for him it's like, okay, I better stay on my own, I better build my own brand or my own business, but I will not depend on others, or I will not take other people's favors. Because I see just people being just so, especially women. Women really want to be around. And I know, like, I read you guys that you said he's hot. He's hot AF, yeah, we don't blame her. Yeah, but I think that this woman is no good. Is no good. This is why, I think that sometimes when we talk about this predatory behavior, in the industry, in the business of entertainment, it's not just about the men being in this predatory behavior. Also, women are like this. Some women are like this, and women in power are like this, especially to the youngest. So, in this case, we were talking with my army friend about this that happened at Jin's event, at BTS Jin event, that he had this event with army, this hugging event that he was giving hugs to, I believe, 1,000 fans, and that there was 2 of them, I believe, that they kissed him. They kissed him here, being just so. Just so disrespectful and so gross. Like, I never liked the idea of that hugging event, but he wanted to do it. Like, he really had good intentions for the fans, and I'm sure that the fans that went there, they, not all of them are born like this, but these people, these 2 women, like what they did in 1 second, because I don't know how many seconds they had to be able to grab him like this, to grab on him and also to try to kiss his neck. So women also have instincts. Women also have instincts. It's not just the man that, oh, this man is creepy. Oh, no, look what he's doing. Oh, no. Women also have instincts. So, Yeah. The shaman of K-pop. I hope they're so, yeah. Yeah. And this is why I was reflecting about this with my friend. I was like, you really have to be this, like, sort of possessed of this need to do this in front of these people, knowing that everyone is watching you. Like, everyone is watching you. Like, and it's just like a second. And they were like, okay, this is my moment. Like, oh my God. Like, no. There was a scary, creepy, and disrespectful. Like, with all these people present. Like, And thank God, like, Jin always, like, uses humor to sort of, like, light up the situation, but it mustn't have been, like, no. Poor man. And his face, like, oh no, like, poor guy. Ooh, ooh. And let's not even think, like, that usually if this was a female idol, like, and if this was a man that did, oh no, oh my God, no, oh, no, guys. Oh, very disgusting, yeah. Yeah, they definitely lost the common sense. But yeah, it's I was watching Danny's Pizza Club. He has this YouTube channel that is called, not Danny's, I'm sorry, David. David of DKDK. Now he has this YouTube that is called Pizza Club, and I always am there watching his live stream. And he was talking with Anna. They were talking about this and reflecting about this that happened, and they were like, that between these 1,000 people, there's some of them that they really think that they have a chance with Jin. There's the Lulus in there. So even if you have the fan that is someone that they really love Jin and they just want to have this very sweet moment and maybe congratulate him and look at him in the eye and just get emotional inside and be like, welcome back, we missed you. There's women in there that they actually think that this is their YN moment, their protagonist moment. I don't know, their Wattpad moment. Which is very dangerous, honestly. Like, we are laughing about it, but it's not funny at all. So yeah, guys, this is why I don't joke about shipping, because you never know what kind of person is watching your content and what they do or what influences what you say to make them act crazy. It's like, instead of saying the shaman made me do it, they're like, the tarot readers. Oh no. It's like, keep that comment to yourself. Like, I'm glad it was beautiful, but oh no, please, like, oh. Okay, I'm going to start with the shipping readings. I'm going to start with 17, Mingyu and Wonwoo. Mingyu and Wonwoo. Eight of Swords. Okay. Okay, for Mingyu, we have the Ace of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Fool. And from Wonwoo of 17, we have the 10 of Swords, the 4 of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. And they had the card of the Eight of Swords that is helpless and hopeless. So I'm sort of like seeing this, and with all these swords and this energy of helpless and hopeless. Like, every time they talk, it seems like they talk about very sad things. Like, I don't know what kind of language they have, But probably they do trust each other a lot when it comes to their insecurities, maybe, or them when they are down and they are not feeling that confident and they are not feeling their best. I think that this is what keeps them together, or probably how their dynamic works, that they just rely a lot on each other to talk about very sad things, or just to express how maybe frustrated they are about certain things. I think that one of them is very insecure, and the other one is much more like empathic. It's like, yeah, I hear you, you know, like sometimes I also feel insecure about myself, like, you know, trying to dissipate these clouds and sort of inspire the other person to, like, you know, let's be better, let's do better. But definitely these two, their dynamic feels a bit fatalistic, but probably it has to do that they just talk about very sad things, or maybe they just trust each other a lot, and they are like, you know, I have to tell you, like, this negative experience happened to me, or this happened to me that it sort of made me feel sad, and I want to talk about it, and or I have this issue, or I have this anxiety, and I don't know how to get out of this, so I want to tell you, I want to talk to someone about it, so yeah, you are the perfect person for me to talk about it. Yeah, I think that for Mingyu, we have the Ace of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Fool. So definitely, I think that Mingyu is a great listener. I think that he's someone that he's very honest. He just tells you things like it is. You know, the Ace of Swords is like clarity. It's like if you want to ask him for something, like to ask him for an opinion, he's going to be very straightforward with you. Like, okay, this is what I think. And I think that there's something about him also guiding Wonwoo to sort of break the rules, you know, because we have the Hierophant and we have the Fool. So it's about him sort of inviting Wonwoo to be like, you know, we should do our own thing. We should do our own thing and not listen to others. So I think that could he be a bit influenced? I don't think he's a bad influence, but I think that he's just someone that he's much more playful than Wonwoo. He's like you know, let's start over. Like, I think that there's something about the company just being very much behind their backs, and in this case, for Mingyu, I sort of see it. I sort of see that the company is here, like sort of telling him how to behave or telling him to shut up about certain things, but he never listens. At the end, Mingyu does what he wants. So I think that he is much more free. He's much more. He just never lets, you know, negativity get too much into his head. He can have his moments, of course. And he doesn't mind to talk about it. It's like, yeah, I have defects or I have bad days just like everyone. But at the end of the day, he always tries to, it's not about breaking the rules, but he tries to get out of the box that people usually want to put him in. You know, there's something about him just acting a bit like a child, or just like holding on very tight to this. He's a strong believer of new beginnings and new opportunities. He's like, okay, maybe today it wasn't the best, but, you know, in the future we're going to get it. If we start all over, you know, if there's a tomorrow, there's going to be new opportunities. In the case of Wonwoo, I think that for him is very different. I think that he is the member that gets a bit much more like sensitive, and he can get a bit like, a bit defeated from time to time, you know, a bit negative and a bit blue, and him being like, oh, you know, I never do anything right, like he can be very harsh on himself as well, like, you know, I didn't like this that I did, I should have done better, you know, sort of being a perfectionist. And I think that he stays in his mind. He probably is very obsessive, maybe OCD a bit, because I feel like it doesn't allow him to relax. I think that he probably can get a bit negative from time to time when talking to when talking to Mingyu, is very different, his mindset. But at the end, we have the Queen of Wands. So I think that there's a lot of fire inside of Wonwoo or Wonwoo. I think that at the end he becomes resilient. At the end he like sort of brings out this passionate, this fighter inside of him. But I think that when he is down, when he's in a bad mood, you cannot interrupt his process of him feeling down. It's like the only thing that you can do is be by his side and listen to him and sort of accept that this is how he feels, and just letting him go through this, and then he will come back stronger. Definitely, he's very sensitive because he got a queen. Instead of him getting a king, he got a Queen of Wands. So definitely, when you give him time to recover his own sense of self, when he centers himself, he remembers who he is, or he remembers how valuable he is. But there's moments where actually when he feels down, he really goes really down. He gets very negative, or he gets very sad about himself, and it's really hard to get him out or convince him to like, oh, you know, let's cheer up, let's do something fun. He's like, no, I don't want to. like let me be where I am. Yeah, I think that their connection here with the Eight of Swords, with the cards of helpless and hopeless, maybe is about defeating together this feeling of feeling helpless or hopeless. It's like, you know, cheering each other up in the dark times, or in the moments where you feel tied up to situations, or where you don't want to do things, where you're like, you know, I don't want to do this, or I don't feel like doing this. And you have someone that is like, okay, like, let's endure this. Tomorrow is a better day. So definitely they probably had been there for each other in very dark times. In very dark times. So yeah, they know. Okay, NCT, Jaehyun and Renjun. I know that Renjun is in hiatus, so I'm not going to read the future for him. I'm just going to read the state of their dynamic or of their friendship. In this case, we're talking about ships, but yeah, I'm going to take it as this, and let's see the state of this ship, instead of going deep into how he's doing, because I don't do that because they are in hiatus. He is in hiatus. Oh. Okay. Okay. From Jaehyun's side, we have the Knight of Wands, we have the Hermit, and we have the Death card. And from Renju's side, we have the King of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Two of Swords. And their ship or their connection, we have the card of the Devil, Master. So it's very interesting because both of them got core cards of Wands. We have Jaehyun being represented as this Knight of Wands. And Renjun is represented by this King of Wands. So, it's very interesting because I believe that Renjun is younger than Jaehyun, but he seems a bit much more stable in his personality than Jaehyun. I think that Jaehyun is also very. I think that Jaehyun is also very passionate and very straightforward, but I see that Jaehyun is much more spontaneous. Probably because he doesn't stay. When we have the Knight of Wands, is an energy that is like, you move with whatever comes up or with whatever is available. I think that this is what his mentality and what he shares with Renjun. Is like, if you have to take a moment, you take a moment to reflect on yourself. And if you have to take a moment to transform yourself and to change your energy or to change your circumstances, you do it as well. I think that there's something it's very interesting from Jaehyun's perspective with all these major arcanas. I think that definitely he shares a lot of wisdom with Renjun. And probably it has to do with him advising Renjun to take as moment as he needs, if he needs it. And that, that is not, there's nothing wrong with him. And that also that if he doesn't want to talk, or if he doesn't want to share with others what is going on with him, that it's okay. With Renjun, with Jaehyun, you can be yourself, and there's no need to talk. There's no need for you to sort of having to explain yourself, like why you feel the way you feel, or why you're going through what you're going through. There's something very accepting, but also just not Renjun. Jaehyun is very protective of Renjun. It feels like, his energy moves towards Renjun. It's like, okay, do you need me? I'll be there. Like, do you want to sit next to me? I will move. And this is very interesting because usually when I read for Jaehyun and others, he's much more passive. He's like, yeah, we'll see. But when it comes to Renjun, he is much more passionate. He's much more proactive. So it's like, okay, what do you want of me? Do you want me to go and see you? Do you want to do this? But I think that he's much more like advising Renjun to just like embrace the change. If you are changing, embrace it. There's no need for him to... There's something about like, I don't know why I get this, that probably Renjun feels very guilty, or he feels like he has to explain to people, or maybe to the other members as well, why he's going through what he's going through. And from Jaehyun's perspective, it's like, with me, you don't have to tell me anything. Like, I just accept you. Like, okay, you need a timeout, you need a change. Okay, yeah, that's valid. Yeah, you do what you have to do. So it's very liberating to have someone like this, someone that it's not that the others are asking for him to explain, but I feel like with the energies of Renjun being this King of Wands, this Four of Cups, this Two of Swords, I feel like Renjun feels very responsible, and he's always used to, I feel like he feels like he has to defend himself. This is why we have these wands, this King of Wands is someone very authoritarian, is someone that okay, I'm not going to let other people get in my territory and just tell lies about me. Like, I prefer to do it myself. I prefer to deliver the message myself, or I prefer to go and do things on my own instead of relying on people. He feels very combative, he feels very angry, he feels very, like he wants to dominate what people think of him. But at the same time, Renjun has something with the Four of Cups and with the Two of Swords that it has to do that probably he has been losing his passion, or he has been feeling apathic, or he has been feeling not himself. Like he's not enjoying things the way he used to enjoy them. And with the Two of Swords, it's like he feels like he has no way out. Like he wishes he could be like, oh, okay, I'm okay, no, I'm not okay. It's like he's in the middle. He doesn't know what he feels, or he doesn't know what he needs. So, nevertheless, this King of Cups, this King of Wands is always here, very present. So this is why from time to time you're going to hear from Renjun himself, or he's going to tell the audience or the fans, he's going to tell them something, because he feels like he has to be the one that delivers the message. He cannot just go MIA. He cannot just go on hiatus. He feels that he needs to tell his story. And also we have the devil between the two of them. So I think that definitely both of them are very good at manipulating the situations in their favor. And I think that this is why they probably resonate a lot with each other. They see each other and they're like, okay, yeah, what you're going through right now is something that I went through a few years ago as well. So you take your time. I understand you. I understand what you're going through. But I think that both of them are very ambitious people, are very ambitious. This is why their connection is all about like, okay, and do not forget who you are, and do not forget what your desires are. Do not forget what your goal is, what your motivation is. Be ambitious, be relentless, like just be a fighter. It's not about control. I think that they talk a lot about like, don't forget who you are, that you have the control of this. You have the control. Like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of having the control. Because both of them are like this, are people that they don't want others to manipulate the narrative of who they are and what they're about. They are like, no, I prefer to talk about myself. I prefer to be me, the person that delivers the message, instead of other people being talking behind my back or just adding some words that I didn't say. I prefer to be me, the one. Probably Jaehyun feels very, just resonates a lot with what Renjun is going through, with this sort of anger and frustration when you're like, who are you to try to dominate my reality and what I do? Like probably they have a lot of, I don't want to say they have haters, but probably they are not very liked, or they are too liked by the fans that people are obsessed. And it's always them. So maybe this is why they resonate a lot with each other, because both of them went through people just being very obsessed with them and wanting to destroy them, and then be like, no. Like, yeah, this is my job, but you are not the boss of me. I am my own person. I assert my dominion. Okay, let's continue with these EXO members. Hello, Stray Kids Pink Lover. Let's continue with Chanyeol and Baekhyun. Chanyeol and Baekhyun. Chanyeol, Baekhyun. Are we sure this is a ship? Because their energy don't seem very close. Like, they feel actually very far away from each other. Like, not in a space, but I feel like energetically there's some differences. Yeah, we have giving and receiving in reverse. Yeah, from Chanyeol we have the lovers. We have the High Priestess, and we have the Page of Swords. And from Baekhyun we have the Three of Swords, the Empress, and the Six of Swords. They used to be shipped a long time ago. Yeah, we have the Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving in reverse. So, yeah, things are not that. I think that from Chanyeol's point of view, he definitely doesn't tell like I think that he doesn't know what to think about Baekhyun. Probably there's some things that Baekhyun has been doing that he doesn't approve of this. And actually, like as someone recommended me, like asked me if I could do an update or a reading for EXO, like how EXO dynamic is doing these days because of the CBX issue that they have, these three members, and how does the other EXO members feel? Because I sense some tension. I think that from Chanyeol, it's like, you know, he probably doesn't, he keeps a lot of things to himself. He doesn't share with Baekhyun that much. He's like a bit hesitant. I think that he's not being honest. You know, it's not that he's not talking to Baekhyun. I think that he's just keeping things to himself. And it's like, you know, I'm not going to take part into this issue. Like, you go and fix your things. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to get in the middle. So it's like, you know, whatever I think about this that you're doing, I'm not going to say it. But the mysteriousness and the silence is felt. And also, he says this, but then we have the page of swords. So I think that from time to time, he could be a bit passive-aggressive with Baekhyun. You know, somehow like saying something or throwing a very sharp comment here and there that could actually offend a bit Baekhyun. So I think that, yeah, he could be a bit passive-aggressive. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, what I know, I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to get in the middle. You know, the lovers is also someone that is very, it's like, I'm not here nor there. I'm not against you nor with them. Like, he doesn't want to get in the middle. But at the same time, he's also keeping information to himself. But then when he can, he get a bit like, you know, too honest, or he says something that sounds very petty. And from Baekhyun's perspective, we have the Three of Swords, the Empress, and we have the Six of Swords. So I think that from Baekhyun's perspective, it's like he feels very hurt, he feels very disappointed, because he's like, you know, the Empress in the middle is like, you do not like it when I am successful, right? You know, there's something about him being like, oh, yeah, you're saying these things to me that you know that hurt my pride or hurt me, because you know that I'm doing better, that I'm doing well, that I'm trying to build something for myself, that I'm trying to be successful, that I'm trying, you know, to gain something, or I'm trying to nourish and be successful and prosperous. You know, there's something with money and success that probably Baekhyun is like, you know, I feel that you are not being honest with me, or I feel like you have a certain attitude towards me, that our relationship changed a lot ever since the day I left. So here the Six of Swords is also like, you know, I'm leaving, I'm not seeing you that often, but I also noticed like you had said some things that hurt my feelings, and I'm not going to be apologetic for wanting to grow and wanting to expand and wanting to be successful. So yeah, it's like I'm not going to be apologetic for wanting more. Yeah, the Six of Pentacles in the middle, you know, in reverse, it means that there's a disbalance. You know, there's something about them just at this point in their lives, they are not connecting. It's like probably one's make the effort to get closer and the other one pulls back. It's like, oh no, you know, I'm busy. Oh no, I'm doing this. Or like, yeah, it's not personal with you, but there's a bit of a cold shoulder. And I think that one of them makes more the effort to get closer to the other, but the other one is like, yeah, no, I don't have time, I have to go, I cannot stay. You know, so yeah, things are very sensitive at the moment. Oh, no. No. No, they shouldn't say that. Like, it's not like that. It's not like that. But yeah, there definitely there's tension. There's different points of view about what's going on, and it's very valid because they are different members, different people, different. Also, they ambition different things. You know, each one is looking for their own benefit, so it makes sense. But yeah, no, not up to this point of saying this. Like that's very nasty to say. That's very very nasty. Yeah, EXO is in a rough spot. Yeah, but I don't know. I have faith in them. I'm going to read for them in maybe next week. So yeah, we will see what's available. But yeah, like yeah, I don't want to be fatalist. I don't like it when people get like this, and especially other fandoms that they get in the middle of other fandoms' business. Like that, I hate. Yeah, SM family stuff. Yeah, the SM family is falling apart. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm surprised also again. Okay, I'm going to continue with Treasure, Haruto, and Junkyu. Junkyu. Haruto and Junkyu. I believe Junkyu is the Leo guy, right? Is the one that looks like my bias, but it's not my bias. Is the Leo member, Junkyu. Ah, they love each other. Okay. From Haruto's side, we have, this is very Aries, the Ace of Wands. We have the Star card, and we have the Ten of Swords. Wow, these idols definitely, they feel so defeated. Like, I don't know why when I read this dynamic, I'm like, you know when, and this happens in friendships actually, because you know sometimes when you hang out with your friend, and there are moments that you definitely talk about your vulnerability, you talk about the things that you don't like about yourself, you talk about the things, the mistake that you make, a thing that you didn't like, something that you don't feel proud of, that you don't feel confident about. And I definitely can see it in these dynamics. It's like they probably get together and get closer when they share their not so positive views of each other. You know, it's like, oh, I'm feeling down because I feel like I messed up, or I feel like I made a mistake. I feel like I should be better. I'm not confident enough. You know, this is the kind of conversation that I sort of see it for them. From Junkyu, we have the Queen of Wands, the Two of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. And from the other deck, we have the card of the Ace of Cups. Love abounds. Beautiful, beautiful, very open, very emotional. Yeah, definitely. I think that from Haruto's side, we start really strong because we have this Ace of Wands, we have this Star card, and we also have the Ten of Swords. So I think that Haruto definitely is an action-oriented person. He has a lot of charisma, he has a lot of strength. Definitely he's very strong, but probably mentally he's not that strong. Or there's something about him just not feeling that confident about himself, you know, probably like thinking like, okay, I should do better. I don't feel that secure in myself. I made a mistake and I cannot let go. I don't know if he was criticized at some point, if he was like in a very low, I don't know about Treasure if they had criticism, but I think that Haruto is someone that has the quality of being this very magnetic member. Probably he gets a lot of attention. I know he has a lot of fans. He's also very charismatic. His voice, everything is, his stage presence is very strong. But behind all of that, this is a member that probably he struggles a lot with feeling and actually believing that he is this talented or that he is this good. You know, there's something about him showing it to the public, but maybe when it comes to his self-image, he doesn't see himself like this. And actually, he tends to think that everything he does is a failure. So probably, you know, this is what he talks with Junkyu the most. I think that from Jungkyu's side, he could be the one that sort of is like supporting him. We have this Queen of Wands, Two of Swords, and Eight of Wands. So he could be the one that actually sort of lifts up the mood. Like, I don't know, with this Two of Swords, I wonder if he has like a Libra moon, because I feel like he's someone that he's not an absolutist. You know, when he has to give you a feedback or when he has to tell you something, his opinion, he's very strong, he has his own opinions, but at the same time, he's not absolutist. He's not like, oh, you done great, or oh, no, you done horrible. I think that he sort of invites Haruto to not jump to conclusions or to not make assumptions about his value, his own value. It's like, you know, sort of inviting Haruto to not get that, you know, that desperate or that negative about himself, you know, to not feel like this, like, oh, like I'm a failure, or no, I made a mistake, I'm the worst, you know. He tends to feel he's very harsh on himself. And I think that for Junkyu, he's sort of like, I would say like a mother figure. He's also very passionate. He's a very passionate member, very honest, but he's also much more like, I would say like, supportive. He's like, you know, you got this, yeah. He's also very honest in this sort of energy of like, you know, there's moments where I also doubt myself, or where there's moments where I don't know who I am, or I still haven't figured out what my place in this life or in this industry is. I also get confused sometimes, and I also cannot see my value, and I do not have the answers. But all I know is that, you know, there will be a moment where things will change. You know, the Eight of Wands is like action, you know, that they're probably in an environment where, yeah, sometimes things get very negative or things just get very not so positive. But he's like, you know, energy, maybe we will get the news, we will get an update about a new project, and we will move this energy, this motivation, we will connect again with our work, with our passion, with our movement, with our energy, with, you know. So I think that he's always like trying to inspire Haruto to do not get so fixated on like, oh, I am like this, or I am a loser, or I made this worse. It's like, no, we are still trying to figure out who we are. Like, let's not get that extremist, you know. Very sweet also. But yeah, with the card of the Ace of Cups, love abounds. Definitely they love each other very much. They definitely love each other. Okay, I'm going to continue with this group with WJSN, Seola and Bona. I don't know if I read for them in the past. I believe I didn't. This is my first time. I don't know if they are a subunit. I have no idea. I think that things are changing for these girls. Probably there's a lot of changes and there's a lot of like evolution in their careers. If their careers had been like stagnant, or if they felt like things are not moving for them, I can sort of see like the realization of something. Probably something is like the energy is moving, like maybe there's much more work. From the place of Seola, we have the Temperance, we have the Ace of Swords, and we have the Page, not the Page, the Knight of Pentacles. And from Bona, we have the Death card, we have the Four of Cups, and we have the High Priestess. And they got from the other deck, they got the card of the Judgment, and here the keyword is Blossom. So see, their energy just seems very, just seems like they went through a lot, like individually. But I think that they are trying. In the case of Seola, I think that she's probably the one that is much more stable. There's something about her just remaining very hopeful, or maybe if she's a believer in something, she believes in a sort of a spirituality or in a God or something. Like she is very outspoken about her beliefs and about her intentions. She's also very creative. And the Knight of Pentacles, I see that she always is like starting over. You know, she's like someone that she's like, okay, this didn't work, I'm going to start over, I'm going to create something new. So I wonder if she creates something for the group. But yeah, I think that she also has the potential of being a sort of healer, because the Temperance, it sort of lets me know that she probably, in her connection with Bona, she is the one that brings this temperance, brings this tranquility to Bona. She probably is the one that is a bit much more centered in her energy, a bit much more wiser, and she sort of has the ability to see clearly where she's going, or where she's going next, you know. And I think that she's also very patient. I don't see her like making huge steps towards a goal. I think that she just takes her time and goes at her pace. But she's very loyal. She's a very loyal friend, very outspoken. But she's a good influence. You know, with the Temperance, I get this feeling of like she definitely is super sweet. And is someone that when you get in contact with her and her energy, she sort of heals you. There's something very soothing about her, and that she's not in a hurry, and she's not troubled. She doesn't have like these inner demons or doubts, or no. She's like, okay, yeah, whatever it will be, it will be. I'm just always working towards my objective. I don't know when I will get to the success, but I'm always on my way. So it seems like she's always busy. And from Bona's perspective, with the Death card, the Four of Cups, and the High Priestess, I definitely sense from her side that she's changing. She's changing a lot. Maybe she's also changing her surroundings, or she's changing who she hangs out with and who her friends are. Maybe she's changing, she's moving somewhere, or she's just changing locations, or there's something also about her and her connection with Seola maybe also changing, and it's not the same, because I think that Bona is changing individually. She's going through a major transformation of probably in the past she was feeling a bit disconnected from reality, and she really wasn't feeling the love, you know, or the support of others. Or in the connection of Seola, she wasn't able to receive the love that Seola was giving her, because she was sort of numb. And also I think that it's really hard to get to her, because she also is someone that is very mysterious. She also keeps everything to herself. So even though she may be having a hard time, she doesn't say it, or she doesn't like share it with others. So I think that she's a very complex individual, and she needs a time to sort of open up again. But I think that she's doing some inner work. It's just that it's very personal, and probably she doesn't share it with other people. She's like, okay, this is my process. I'm remaining silent. Yeah, I don't share that much. Yeah, I'm sort of a mystery, but yeah, this is how I want things to go now. I feel like I need my time because I'm changing. But yeah, they're in a very special moment with the card of the Judgment that it says Blossom. Everything about them and their dynamic is changing. Probably their careers is also changing. So it sort of makes sense that they probably are not communicating that much. It's like if they could actually be at the same place and not talking that much, but they are trying to, you know, focus on themselves and being better, probably. Now that it's getting darker, do you see how you can almost see like the sunlight? Okay, I'm going to continue with Nayeon and Jeongyeon of Twice. It's really funny because I see that the furniture is like this. But it's not that it's not crooked. It's just that the phone it moves and I cannot move it. And also the ceiling is very deceiving because the ceiling is not straight. It has like a sort of like it's so funny. Yeah, we should do that. Okay. Okay. Nayeon. Jeonghyun. Jeonghyun, her energy feels very lonely also, but very concentrated on getting better. Definitely, I think that she's also this member that she doesn't share with others, like her struggles. She's like working on herself, and she's like, okay, like, yeah, I'm not telling you the details of what I'm doing, but I'm working on myself and getting better. Very hardworking woman. The Hermit. Yeah. From Nayeon's perspective, we have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Queen of Wands. And from Jeonghyun, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. Is it possible that she could also have a solo? Or just a project, an individual projects? Because I see her working on herself by her own. And like I mean her that she's on her own working on something. And she's like very focused. So I wonder if she's going to have an individual project as well. Yeah, and their connection, we have the Hermit that it says seek. So honestly, I wouldn't say like I see a connection in here. Like I think that each one of them are working on themselves. Like probably they are focused on individual projects. We know that Nayeon is, but I think that from Nayeon's perspective, like yeah, she's always working. She's always working. She's always trying to, to be better, to be just amazing, to be on charge, to be confident, but I think that the High Priestess in the middle, I think that probably it has to do that that maybe Nayeon just keeps things hidden when it comes to her personal projects. Maybe she doesn't tell the members because she's been asked to keep it hidden until it's released. So probably this also can be seen like oh, you knew about this, but you didn't tell me why. Like why are you hiding it? Like there's no reason for you to hide it since this is your project, not mine. But I think that there's something that Nayeon doesn't tell Jeongyeon. Definitely doesn't tell her. Definitely. And it doesn't create tension. But I think that it's very interesting how maybe it's not just with Jeongyeon. Probably it's also with the other members. Like there's something about her working or being asked to work and practice and not tell the others that she's doing this. And then she comes up with like, oh yeah, I have this individual project. Oh, I have to go here and there. But it's like, oh, really? Like, and when was this? Like, when did you first hear about it? And it's like, oh, no, because, I was waiting for, I feel like Nayeon hides things for the members because it's like probably she doesn't want to create conflict, but it's very interesting how she seems so confident because we have this Queen of Wands, so definitely she's a very confident friend. She's very funny, she's very outgoing, but she has this, that she hides things, especially things that has to do with work. The Knight of Pentacles. It's like probably she has, I don't know if she has private classes or something like, it could be something like that she has to do something like learn something new and she doesn't tell the others. I don't know. I think that it's not about her. I think that she's been asked to not talk about it until it's released. So yeah, from Jeonjeon's perspective, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. So I think that, yeah, from Jeonjeon's perspective, there's this feeling of like, she's focusing on herself. She's honestly, like, with the Wheel of Fortune, I think that there's maturity in Jeonjeon's character. Maybe in the past, she used to, like, get a bit upset over certain things or get a bit sensitive about what the others say or didn't say to her, or maybe sometimes they had differences. But now with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, I'm just not looking at what you're doing. I mean, if you do it and you're happy, I'm happy for you. But she's more focused on herself. She's like, I think that Jeonjeon has been working a lot on her self-esteem. So definitely she's very busy also. And she's like recognizing, that whatever she feels about a certain situation, that it has to do with herself and her own value instead of what the other is doing. So probably there's a bit of like, it's not that she's not appreciating what Nayeon is doing. It's more like, I sort of like, I hope that you do great, but I'm also working on myself. Like, I'm not dependent because I have also things to do when it comes to my own well-being. So I cannot be like, being like a personal fan and being like following you around like whenever you do something, because I'm busy rebuilding myself as well. So yeah, maybe in the past she was a bit much more pendant on what the others were doing. Now she's much more selective where she spends her energy. She's much more focused on herself. And we have the Hermit, that the Hermit is a Sikh. I think that there's something about their connection. I don't think that there's tension. I don't think that there was drama. But I think that probably there's some parts of each other that they trigger someone, one of them. So it's like this person is trying to meditate, is trying to take a deep breath, and it's like, it's not going to affect me this time. I'm sort of looking for answers. I'm looking for my own answers, like, why do I feel like this? When this is not about me, the other person didn't do anything to me. Why do I react? Or why do I feel like this? So probably they are not like, oh yeah, we are best friends and share everything, but they are growing. They are growing and maturing, definitely. Mm. Mm. Okay, I'm going to continue with Felix and Lee Know and Taehyung, and then I'm going to do JYP and the other band, and then I'm going to go, guys. Yeah, I think that this is done on purpose by the company. Maybe to create certain, they want to avoid the drama, but things, they talk to each other. Okay. Felix and Lee Know. Oh, well, Samara, I don't have a humor um, sensor in here. I thought that you were recommending it. Okay. For Felix, we have the Ace of Swords. We have the Judgment. We have the Ten of Cups. And from Lee Know, we have the Empress, very lovely, Queen of Swords, and Justice. And their connection is the Two of Pentacles. Find a balance. Okay. I think that from Lino, not Lino, from Felix, I think that there's something about him sort of like, quieting his mind a bit. With the Ace of Swords, I think that sometimes Felix, I don't know why with the Judgment, I feel like there's moments where he feels judged by others. Maybe he gets a bit sensitive, and also I have the Ten of Cups. So I think that it has to do with his community, that he's so, there's something about him being able to speak up his truth in the community or in the group. And there's moments where he doesn't say what he really means. He doesn't say what he really means because he's sort of afraid of being judged. And I think that probably with the Ten of Cups, he's sort of allowing himself to trust a bit that they know each other for a very long time. So it's okay for him to speak up his mind and tell his truth to Lee Know and be like, say it, say what you want to say. Like, even if you are wanting, I don't know, if you want to introduce a subject or if you want to say something. I think that he is slowly learning to open up more to Lee Know, to say what he really wants to say. Also, from Lee Know's perspective, we have the Empress, we have the Queen of Swords, and the Justice. So yeah, definitely from Lee Know's perspective, he feels much more confident. He feels much more... I think that Lee Know just feels like, okay, you want to be associated with me, you want us to create a moment, let's do this, but you better keep up, because if you notice, the Empress and the Queens, both of them are, and also the Justice, both of them are seated in their thrones. So there's something about Lee Know being like, I'm not going to go after you. You have to come to me. You have to put the effort. And you also be ready because, I'm going to talk about certain things. And probably I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable. But yeah, this is what I do to sort of balance our energies out. With the Empress, there's also this feeling of, I feel comfortable being who I am. There's something about, and also I think that Lee Know knows his value. He's like, do you want to be sheep with me? I'm very successful at these things. So yeah, definitely. I think that from Lee Know, it's like a game. It's much more comfortable. He's like, okay, do you want to win my love and my attention? Just come and say what you want to say, And I sort of see that from Felix's side, it's a bit much more like, he's a bit much more shy. He's a bit really, but what about the others? He probably thinks about the group as a whole. He doesn't want to, he wants to share these moments or special moments with all of them, not just with one person. Probably he's a bit intimidated by Lee Know. He's a bit intimidated. And honestly, with all these cards, I would be too. Because honestly, Lee Know is someone that he looks at you in the eye and he knows what your BS is, or he knows what your dark side is, or your secrets. So he's going to expose you. Definitely, he's going to expose you. But I think that there's something that is changing in in Felix energy. I think that he's trying to be much more courageous. He's like, okay, I guess I have to speak more, I have to talk more, I have to engage more. Okay, I will do this. But he's a bit like, but also the two of Pentacles find balance. You know, they can be great for each other in a dynamic. Definitely. He could be great. I like it. But it's something that is very on the initial parts. Like, it's not something that it can sustain with time. I think that they are sort of playing with the idea of being seen together, but it's still in the first stages. The two of Pentacles, I think that they have to find each other. Like, it's like, yeah, like, oh yeah, you're there, I forgot about you. It's something like this. But yeah, it's just that Lee Know is Lee Know. With Lee Know, you have to be like this because he will run you over. So yeah. Very intimidating. Okay, going to continue. Taehyung, Taehyung, JK. I'm like that. That's why fake people don't like me. When you can read people, things are so funny. Okay, yeah. From Taehyung's side, we have the King of Swords, we have the Temperance, we have the Empress. So definitely, yeah, we know that Taehyung is going through such a glow up in the military. So yeah, it makes sense that he has these beautiful cards and about growth, and also we have this very stable and straightforward King of Swords. So he's feeling so good about himself. About JK, we have the Seven of Swords, the Hermit, and we have the Ten of Cups. And we have the card of Shine, that is like the Sun card. Yeah, I think that the ship is okay. Definitely, I see that from Taehyung's side, he's feeling much more like imbalance and sort of much more proud of himself. He's feeling so good, so proud of himself. He probably looks at himself and he's like, oh, I love it. I love being me right now. And he feels in control, you know. From JK's side, I see him very elusive, honestly. I would say that they are not talking. Or if they talk, probably is Taehyung the one who initiates the conversation. But I see that from JK's side, there's something about him not being that available or not being just being very elusive. I think that there's something that he's not. I don't think that they have that there's something happened like a sort of fallout or something. But I think that probably. JK is in this moment probably where he is, that he's separated from the members and from Taehyung. There's something about him just keeping to himself. His energy just feels like he's very busy, or that he just decides to be very silent or just work on himself. Actually, the Ten of Cups is that, you know, he probably misses like all the members. Like the Ten of Cups is like something that has to do with this very absolutist feeling of like I love them all, you know. I don't think that this is a feeling like, oh, I love Tae. I feel like he loves all and misses all the members, but he's also like, probably he's trying not to get that emotional. He's trying not to get that attached. He probably is working a lot on himself, and he's trying to maybe evade himself from the others so he can learn and adapt better to this situation that he's in, you know. And also I think that there's something about information, or there's something about news that he from some way or another, I think that he's preventing himself from sending messages or letters. I don't know if this is with Tae or if this is with all the BTS members, but I think that he's just been very silent. I think that he's protecting himself also in there. He's like, yeah, guys, like, yeah, I sent you a message. Oh no, I didn't get it. I think that he's sort of protecting himself, or maybe there's people that are like, oh, do you want to go and talk to them, or do you want to go and see them where they are? And he's like, no, thank you, I'm fine here. So he's trying to be by himself and go through this period of just being very silent and very reserved. I think that he's reserving himself a lot. He's not sharing that much with anyone. He's sort of escaping the possibility to share. Maybe because he's sort of protecting the others, or he's protecting himself from others. Probably is the place that he's in, the military, that he's like, I know they're watching me, I know that they want to know of me, so I better not talk. Or I better do not send messages or written letters, or there's something about him just escaping or just securing his information, his thoughts, even his own opinions. He probably is not talking also that much, because I think that people want to do something with his information. So this is why he's sort of like keeping it a secret. He's like deciding to be silent to protect them. So yeah, but they have the sound card. So definitely, if they have the opportunity to meet or see each other, they're very happy. They shine so much together, both of them. Definitely their ship or their friendship or their connection has this very childlike connection, this very warm feeling. So yeah, but I think that these moments, like, they are in two different units. Like, definitely I see that for B is more about, like, I'm sort of the king here, like I got used to the rules here, I'm much more comfortable, and I feel like I had a huge glow up, and I feel so good about myself. And for JK, it's not the same. For JK, it's different. Yeah. Yeah. You remember that, Akira? I still cannot believe. Remember that I got this, that I was like, where are they taking him with about Taehyung? I was like, where are they taking Taehyung? Because it felt like he was going to go in somewhere that I don't know why I got that he was going to be very dusty. In the middle of the nowhere. Okay, guys, I'm going to go because my back is hurting, honestly. Like, thank God the chair didn't drop, because I know that it has to drop more. It has to go lower, but it's stuck. But I was a bit hesitant because I was like, okay. I was like, this is going to go poof, and I'm going to sort of disappear from the screen because it's going to, but it didn't happen, it's staying there. So I guess I will have to put much more oil. But yeah, guys, I guess today looks better. I think that I have to change the lights, because I have a very bright light here, and I have this very, like, sort of like warm light in here. But I don't know if I want to switch them. Like, because I think that in here, like, I noticed that it makes my face, like, maybe it's this place, it should go here, right? Because it sort of makes my, anyways, today I'm not wearing makeup. This is why you see me like this. You're like, what is going on with her lips? But yeah. Yeah, it's like, I think that I have to change it, like shift it, maybe change it here and then the other one here, because I feel like it hits my face like like this. It hits them like this. But yeah, like I love it. Yeah, I love the way it looks. Now that it's a bit darker, now that you know that it's nighttime, it looks better. It looks better. No, but I think that it's because I didn't get my mate. Honestly, like I have dry lips. I was talking and I was like, I feel like in my tea got cold, so I cannot drink it. I will have to get my mate up here, so because to stay hydrated, because I feel like um my mouth is dry. But yeah, I just find it funny how I'm going to show it to my dad then. Like how the furniture it looks like it's but it's cool. And also I'm going to one day before I start reading cards, like I'm going to play the crystal bowl for you guys, the singing bowl. This one that I have here in the back is a crystal singing bowl to harmonize the spaces. So we can do a bit of ASMR before we start with the sounds. It's very healing. So now that I have it here, I can use it before we start pulling the cards. Yeah, yeah, except for the dogs. I was telling my dad, like in here, I used to complain downstairs that I would hear people talking. But now that I'm here, I can hear the dogs fighting, the dogs from the other neighborhood and the other neighborhoods of here. So, yeah, I will have to, I don't know, I have to see if I can invest in these things that are soundproof. You know, the ones that they use in the radio stations, that are made of this very plushy thing. But I don't know, we'll see about that. Mm. Mm. Okay, guys, have a great weekend. You know that I'm not going to be around, but I do wish you a great weekend. That you enjoy yourselves, and yeah, I will see you. I will be talking to you on Discord, of course, but yeah, I will see you next Wednesday. And if I post something, I will see you in the community post. So have a lovely week, the rest of the week, and also the weekend. Enjoy, get away from negativity. Just let's wait until this Gemini season is over. Please, guys, remain silent. Do not get into controversies, because you know that Jupiter is in Gemini. So a lot of things that you could display or share, it could be misinterpreted. So please, if you have some kind of confrontation, or if you have people that are like pushing your buttons, or if you have an issue with someone, just don't say anything. Don't say anything. Just, and Akira says too late. No, but if you're ready, stay silent no matter what. Stay silent. Like, don't feed this, because people are hypersensitive. Like, and also they say a lot of things that is like, is no good. So don't get engaged into that negativity, guys, because people just love, like nowadays they are going crazy with the media and the post, and oh, I believe this and I think this. Yeah, yeah, sometimes it's better to stay silent. It's better to stay silent, Akira. Yeah, it's better. Like, if you feel like it's too much, it's like you take your time instead of making it like it makes you feel bad. Like, don't let it. Like, just put a shield. Okay, guys, I have to go. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.